Sally? What the hell? What's up with the divorce papers? And where's all your stuff? Pick up! Hey, what's going on here? Answer me! Explain yourself!
Shut up! They're divorce papers. What do you think it means? Stop texting me!
Wait! You didn't even say anything! Explain yourself! You can't just leave me like this! Look, talk to me. We can work this out. Just talk to me, come on!
You really don't get it, do you? Wow.
I'm sorry, but I really don't. Please, tell me.
The wedding invitation?
Huh?
You still don't get it?
No.
The one I found on your desk?
My desk?
I don't know if you left it out on purpose or not, but you got me. How can you do this to me? Why are you trying to marry someone else?
Wait, you mean the one with the picture of a rose?
Something like that.
Wait, it's not what you think!
Oh yeah? How so?
I got that from a friend back in high school!
Huh?
This kid, we had the exact same name!
What? I was in the same class as you. I don't remember anyone like that.
His last name changed. His parents got a divorce after high school or something. So now he has the exact same name as me.
That's a pathetic excuse. You know that?
I'm serious!
Just stop trying. You're screwed. And don't even try to get rid of the evidence. I already took pictures, so...
Then call him yourself. Talk to him.
Yeah, right. You're probably gonna pay him to lie for you or something. Nice try, idiot. I'm not that stupid, you know.
Look, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth. That's all I can say to you.
You're pathetic. Just sign the papers and hand it in.
Can we at least talk about this first?
I won't sue you for damages. Just sign the papers, okay?
Where are you gonna go anyways? I thought your parents were divorced.
Don't worry, I've got friends.
Wait, Sally!
I'm gonna block you now. Dave, long time no see.
Sally?
It's been like 3 years, right? How are you?
Good, I guess. What do you want?
About the wedding invitation. I went to a class reunion a few weeks ago, and I told my friend about it, and, well, long story short, I believe you now. You were telling the truth.
So you talked to the other Dave, huh? He actually texted me after he talked to you.
Oh, okay. Good. Good to hear. Okay, I'm gonna come back now.
Why?
Huh?
I handed in the divorce papers already. I tried to tell you, but you were blocking me, so...
Oh, right. I know.
So, why are you coming back?
Well, it was just a big misunderstanding, so let's just get back together. Come on, we can always get married again.
Are you serious?
What? What did I say?
If it was a small fight or something, maybe, but... This is different.
But it was a misunderstanding.
Ugh! Seriously? You just left me without saying anything. You didn't even listen to me when I tried to explain things to you. You just called me a liar and left. Then you blocked me. It's too late, Sally.
But...
Look, it's been 3 years, and I know everything.
What are you talking about?
I know why you left me.
What?
You were seeing someone, and you wanted to be with him. That's why you were so eager to get a divorce.
What?
That's why you just left without even talking to me.
Stop being ridiculous.
Dave, the guy you talked to at the reunion, he knows everything about everyone, including you. About a year after the divorce, he found out some interesting things about you, and he was nice enough to tell me. I was pretty shocked.
What did he tell you?
You were trying to get your boyfriend to leave his wife, but it was taking longer than expected. So you went to his house and confronted her yourself, right? Then she sued you and it was a mess.
What? No,
And your boyfriend? He was the guy you dated before me, right? He's 2 years older than you, right?
Wait.
What?
Stop accusing me of these things.
Why?
Dave told you all this, and you believed him? You didn't even give me a chance to explain.
I don't need to. I already got more than enough evidence. These are facts. Dave just pointed me in the right direction.
But I
know everything. It's too late. After you left me, I was a mess, you know. I didn't know about your boyfriend at the time, so I thought it was all my fault, you know? I asked myself, what did I do to her? Things just got worse by the day. I lost my mind. I was in a bad place. I didn't know what to do with my life. But then I found out about your affair. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. But then it all started to make sense. I knew I had to take action. So yeah, I did some digging and I found out about everything. So I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just stating facts. So, what were you saying? Please continue.
Well...
What?
I'm sorry that I cheated on you. I wasn't myself at the time. I was in a bad place, too. But after I broke up with him, I was a mess. Like you said, his wife sued me after that, and I was up to my neck in debt. It took me 3 years to pay it all off. But I never gave up because I knew you'd be waiting for me.
Okay.
So please, Dave, please give me another chance.
What?
I'll be a better wife. I want to start over. Please.
No.
Why? Please, stop being so cold. Come on.
Look, I'm married.
What? What do you mean? It's only been 3 years. How did you find someone new in 3 years? Wait, were you cheating on me too?
Yeah, right. I'm not like you. I met her through my family.
Huh?
I was a mess after the divorce. So my aunt introduced me to someone and she was really nice. She helped me through some rough times. I love her.
What?
So yeah, I'm done with you.
But I still love you. Please, Dave. I'll be there in a few minutes, okay?
Don't. And I don't even live there anymore, so...
What?
I moved out a long time ago.
What?
And I know why you want to get back with me. My guess is you're still in debt. And you're hoping I'd help you, right?
What? No.
I know you already paid off your debt from the lawsuit, but now you're into host clubs, right? I know you're up to your neck in debt again.
What?
I know everything.
How did you know?
Dave told me.
What?
He actually owns a host club himself.
What?
Yeah, he knows everything about everyone. Well, I gotta go. Have fun being in debt.
Ah!
I blocked her after that. A few months later, I talked to the other Dave. He told me she was still up to her neck in debt. Apparently she was hooked on host clubs. She was screwed. I thought about suing her for damages, but I decided to drop it. I just wanted her out of my life. Oh, and my wife got pregnant. Time to move on with my life.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey Cindy, how are you? About your husband, apparently he sent some gifts to Mom again. I think she said it was pricey steaks or something. He's always sending her costly stuff. Are you okay with all that? Hey Karen, yeah, I just heard about that. Apparently he's using your credit card to make these purchases and has them sent to Mom, right? Sounds like he just goes online and picks whatever he wants and charges it on your credit card. Maybe you should cancel that card or something. I bet you dread getting that bill from the credit card company every month. Yeah, I was thinking of doing that, but I figured it would get this way, so I set a little trap for him, so don't worry. A trap? What are you talking about? You set some kind of trap? Yeah, I'll explain it all when we meet on the weekend. You're coming over on Saturday, right? Yeah, I'll be there. I want to hear about this little trap. By the way, why does your husband keep sending Mom such high-end stuff? Steaks, expensive fruit from Europe. I remember he sent her that overpriced Kobe beef from Japan. That must have cost a fortune. I can understand if it was his real mom, but his mother-in-law? It doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, that's right. I guess I never explained it all to you, did I? Explained what? About my husband's mother. She's not his real mom. At least, that's how he explained it to me. Really? No, you didn't tell me about that. Yeah, well, apparently his mom died when he was like 12 years old and he was brought up by his grandmother. His dad later remarried and he got along with his stepmom, but he wasn't really able to accept her as his real mom, understandably. You met her, right? She's real nice and all. So maybe he feels this bond towards Mom. Maybe he's hankering for some kind of affection. Oh, I get it. A bond, huh? Well, I can sort of understand that, but just because he has this affinity toward Mom, does he have to use your credit card to buy pricey gifts for Mom? Just doesn't seem right. I'm sure there are better ways to show appreciation, I would think. And trying to gain favor with a person like our Mom? Yeah, well, he still doesn't know her well, I suppose. That's also something I wanted to explain to you the next time we meet. Yeah, I'd love to hear it all. Anyway, I'm sure that you've got a handle on the whole thing. You always do. I don't have anything to worry about, I suppose. If you're in trouble or anything, don't hesitate to contact me, okay? I'll help you out any way I can. Yeah, I will. Thanks, sis. I can always count on you to be there for me. But aren't you pretty busy right now? I mean, with your wedding coming up, it's just 3 months away, wasn't it? I bet you've got a never-ending to-do list. I sure did before I got married. If there's anything I can do to help out, don't hesitate, okay? Yeah, you got it. What are sisters for, right? Karen, are you seeing this text? If you are, answer me right now. I want you to terminate this relationship and cancel this wedding you're planning today. I don't want to hear any nasty reply from you. This has gone far enough. Are you out of your mind, Mom? How could I do that on the day of my wedding, for God's sake? I have no desire to cancel this wedding. I love Mark and I intend to marry him as planned, and there is nothing that you can do about it. So please, Mom, stop with this nonsense. Oh, don't worry, Karen. I already called the wedding hall and canceled the wedding. There must already be a sign outside announcing the cancellation, so the guests will be turning around and leaving about now. Wait, are you kidding me? You canceled the wedding? Yes, you remember that rich guy I set up that blind date with? Well, it turns out he just couldn't get you out of his mind. He wants to marry you. He says he'll pay $50,000 towards my retirement if you marry him. How could you turn that down, right? So I took the initiative and canceled the wedding. We'll arrange another wedding next month. It's all set. Have you totally lost your marbles, Mom? I'm not going to marry this guy. I only met him once at your place, and that was just by chance. The guy hardly knows me, for Christ's sake. Besides, the wedding staff contacted me and verified if I wanted to cancel, and of course I said no, that it was some kind of prank. Apparently, they've had similar pranks happen in the past. I told them that the wedding will proceed as planned. As a matter of fact, most of the guests have already arrived. So the wedding is proceeding as scheduled. What? They just ignored my call? I'm your mother, for God's sake. They can't do that. Yes, they can. Preparations are already being carried out. What am I going to do about the wedding next month? What am I going to tell him? And the $50,000? How the hell am I supposed to know? Work it out for yourself, Mom. I have nothing to do with that. If you're against this marriage, so be it. I really don't care, Mom. I also arranged a pre-wedding meeting at an expensive restaurant downtown tonight with this guy. What am I going to do about that? What should I tell him? I'm not going to let you marry that penniless lowlife. It's just not going to happen. You hear me, Karen? Mom, are you there? What the hell is wrong with you? Have you completely gone bonkers? Why the hell did you come dressed in all black like it was a funeral? The guests were totally horrified. I thought I told you that you weren't welcome if you were against this marriage. Oh, yeah, that. I completely got things all mixed up is all. Got what mixed up? It was a wedding, for Christ's sake. I thought you were holding a wedding and a funeral at the same time. But that wedding was so shabby, did it even matter if I came dressed in all black? Actually, it seemed kind of fitting. Oh, is that right? I think I saw, maybe 30 guests in total. Really? Your sister had over 100. It was so inconsequential that the other guests probably mistook it for a funeral. Everyone seemed dead. That was because you showed up in funeral gear. And what was up with that black veil? Anyway, after you got kicked out, the place livened up and it was very enjoyable, thank you. And the reason why there were only a small number of guests is because if we invited everyone, it would get way out of hand. So we decided to just invite close friends and relatives. I really don't care why there were only a meager number of guests. That doesn't concern me one bit. My main purpose was to disrupt that wedding. I was willing to do anything to make a mess of your plans. And I bet it worked, too. After such a shamble, his relatives were probably horrified and called the whole wedding off, am I right? Now that everything is over and this marriage is no longer a thing, come on home. We have to get ready for the date tonight. Sorry, Mom, but I'm heading for the airport now. We're flying to Hawaii on our honeymoon. Excuse me? Honeymoon? You're not even married. That was canceled. No, it wasn't, Mom. After you were kicked out, it went on as scheduled and we got married. Everyone congratulated us. Yes, even his relatives. It was a beautiful wedding. We even stopped off at City Hall and submitted our marriage certificate. We are now officially married. Say what? You already submitted the marriage papers? Why didn't his relatives terminate the wedding? I made quite an impression today. They must have thought you had crazy relatives and wanted nothing further to do with you. Your antics didn't really have much effect, to be honest. After you left, things immediately got back to normal. It was as if you were never there. Actually, I talked to the staff and all the guests beforehand about you, Mom. They were all prepared for what you would pull. Although they were a bit flabbergasted that you would turn up in full funeral wear. You warned them about your own mother? That I was a danger to the guests or something? Yeah, something like that, I guess. But it seems there was someone who received money and assisted in this little scheme of yours. I wonder who paid him. Anyway, that person was identified early on, and the wedding hall staff took care of him. He will probably be let go. Just wonder if it was worth whatever you paid him. Pay who? What are you talking about? I have nothing to... Mom, I really don't care about that. Have you talked to Cindy at all about my husband? You know, about what he does? Pardon me, what's Cindy have to do about this? Don't bring your sister into this. Yeah, I figured as much. You never had any interest in me, so you never bothered to ask about my fiancé, now husband. Just thought he was, how did you describe him? A penniless lowlife, wasn't it? Yeah, that was it. Did you know that Mark, my husband, is related to Cindy's husband? They are, they're cousins. Bet you didn't know that. Excuse me? Mark is his cousin? Are you serious? And another thing that may be of surprise to you, he's slated to be the next president of the company that owns the subsidiary firm that Cindy's husband works for. Wait. Mark's going to be the president of the company that owns this other company? This smaller subsidiary? Is that what you're saying? So he'll be in a more senior position than Cindy's husband? No way, that doesn't make any sense. Then tell me why he was dressed like some maintenance worker when he came to our house last year. He sure didn't look like a man who was destined to be the president of a major corporation. I tried to explain that to you so many times, Mom. You just never listen. Don't you remember that time when you called and said that if I wanted to marry Mark, I had to bring him over within the hour or you wouldn't give us your blessing? Do you remember that? Yes, of course I remember. So what? What I'm asking is why he was dressed like some janitor. His father's company also runs several construction companies, and he was at one of the sites overseeing a current building project. A building project? Yes, that big waterfront project. He was overseeing that, so he couldn't very well go to a construction site in a suit and tie. When you gave us that ultimatum, well, he was an hour's drive away and had no time to change, so he hopped in his car in his work clothes and rushed over there. Why didn't you say something before that? You could have given me a heads up, for Pete's sake. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have. I did. Several times. Why didn't you tell me he was the next in line to be president of that company, the parent company to Cindy's? Because I didn't want you to know that. Excuse me, why didn't you want me to know? When Cindy got married, you were jubilant that she had married a nice, rich guy and that you would enjoy the lavish gifts that would come your way. I just didn't want to hear any of that nonsense from you. Karen, you make me sound like some kind of a self-serving gold digger. It's true, isn't it? I don't think I'm wrong in my assessment. That's all you're interested in. You don't care if I'm happy or not. That's not true. And another thing, Mom. That guy you tried to marry me off to, that guy is the epitome of poor. The thing you most hate, Mom. The guy is a penniless lowlife if there ever was one. Pardon me, that can't be true. When I told Mark about how you were trying to pawn me off to some guy, Mark did a little background check on him. First off, he verified that it was the same guy who I rejected 1 year ago when you set up that first blind date. He dug a little deeper and learned that he embezzled from his company and got caught. He what? He's an embezzler? Yes, that $50,000 that you brought up seems pretty obvious where that money came from. You mean to tell me that guy's a con artist? A thief? That's right, Mom. Seems like you were wrong about Mark, huh? And you were totally wrong about me. With that said, I'm going to cut all ties with you, Mom. To be honest, I don't need you in my life. Wait, are you crazy? You can't just cut ties with me. I'm your mother. You can never cut ties. Now that you married a rich guy, even richer than Cindy's, why would you cut your mother out? There you go again. That's the exact thing that I hate about you, Mom. But I was only trying to. It's already been 7 years since Dad passed away. You married him because he owned his company, and that's what attracted you to him, right? You were only interested in his money. And when he died, he left you a nice lump of money so you wouldn't suffer financially. But in less than 2 years, the money quickly dried up. So I ask you, Mom, why prey on us? I wish you would stop relying on us to maintain your lifestyle. Why don't you work and just support yourself? Dad gave you a chance to live a quiet life, but you squandered that, didn't you? How could you say that to your mother? I worked hard all my life to bring you kids up. I deserve a little compensation. Well, I don't care, because I still have Cindy. She would never betray me like you have. She married a nice, rich man. She'll take care of me. At least I have one daughter that loves me. She wouldn't betray her own mother. I'm surprised you haven't heard yet. Cindy got divorced a little while ago. Wait, what did you say? Divorce? Cindy wouldn't get a divorce. It all started when her husband's mother asked her to consider becoming the next president of the company. You're not making any sense, Karen. Are you talking about Cindy? They want her to be president? Well, one thing led to another, and she was introduced to the president's son and married him, which turned out to be a huge mistake. But it turned out that her husband, although the son of the president who runs a profitable company, was a real tightwad. Tightwad? You mean stingy with his money? Yeah, a real penny pincher, according to Cindy. Did you know that all those gifts you got, that they were bought using Cindy's money, all charged on her credit card? He was able to use it all he liked because she had her credit card registered on that site where you can buy just about anything. As long as he had the password, one click and he could buy anything he wanted. Only problem is Cindy had to pay the huge bill every month. He never spent a dime of his own money. But Cindy laid a trap for him. She changed all the credit card information to his mother's name. Huh? But wouldn't... Of course, she told her mother-in-law about what she was going to do. Apparently, Cindy had confided in her about their son's misdeeds beforehand. But most importantly, do you know what this means for Cindy's husband? No. What? It means his father will learn that he was illegally using Cindy's credit card to buy you all kinds of expensive stuff. He may be married to Cindy, but he used it using her password and without permission, and that's against the law. And the amount he used was pretty significant, somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000 or $12,000 apparently. $10,000 or $12,000? That much? Are you serious? Cindy used this as the main reason for divorcing him. But the good news is she got all of her money back. Well, long story short, she turned down the offer to take over the company as president and is currently looking for a new job and maybe a new husband. She turned down that offer? Is she out of her mind? Does that mean she's unemployed now? What is wrong with her? How could she turn down an offer like that? She's my daughter, for Christ's sake. She's supposed to take care of me. And now she's jobless? Oh, what in God's name was she thinking? I never in my life thought my daughter would betray me like this. Both my daughters. Your rationale of what a daughter should be is skewed, if you ask me. Anyway, this has gone on way too long. What I want to say, as well as Cindy, is that you're not going to get your way, Mom. Not now or ever. Get that through your head once and for all. But you can't just leave me to fend for myself. I can, and I will. Last but not least, just remember that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I hope you don't forget that, Mom. There is no such thing as a free lunch. Karen, please, let's talk about this. You and Cindy. Sorry, Mom. We just arrived at the airport. Gotta go. See ya. I heard from Cindy that she called her and told her she was cutting ties with her once and for all. Of course, she insisted that we meet and talk things through, but I wasn't having any of it. Once we arrived at the airport in Hawaii, I turned on my phone to find like 100 messages from my mom. I skimmed through the messages, but most of it was what I expected of her. All about how it was a waste for Cindy to turn down that offer, or about us talking things over and getting back together as a family. I was thinking of blocking her after a while. I wanted to see how she could fend for herself before I completely cut her off. But my husband was more sympathetic than me. He went out of his way to find her a job working at one of the company's subsidiaries. My mom's always despised work, and when she was forced to take this job, it was pretty hard on her, to say the least. But I hope that she learns the satisfaction of working hard. Maybe it will never happen, but one can hope, right?
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Good morning, Rosa Morgan. Who are you again? This is Whitney Paige. I work at A Corporations, the company you're going to be joining. We exchanged phone numbers when you were accepted into the company. Do you remember?
Oh, I remember you. You're that woman, right?
I was assigned to teach you everything you need to know about the company and your job as a member of the department responsible for training new employees. I hope we can get along together starting today.
Oh, okay. And what do you want from me?
Today's supposed to be your first day of work. Where are you right now? You're already late as it is. The welcoming ceremony has already finished.
Yeah. I can't come in today because I need to take care of something else.
Huh? You're just going to skip work like that?
I told you that I wouldn't come in, so it should be fine, right?
Doesn't this mean that you were planning on just not coming to work without telling anyone if I hadn't contacted you?
It's no big deal. I'm only going to be absent for one day.
Miss Morgan, it's a rule of the company that you need to tell the supervisor if you're going to be absent.
What? A rule?
We need you to follow the rules if you're going to work here.
Do you recognize my last name or not? My father is the CEO of this company.
Yes, and what about it? Just because you're the CEO's daughter doesn't mean you deserve special treatment. We're going to have you undergo training just like the rest of the new employees, and we're going to have to warn you just like everyone else when we have to.
I don't have anything to learn from an old hag like you.
Well, I guess it's true that I'm older than you, who's 22 and just graduated from university. But that also means that I have more experience in society than you.
Is that so?
Anyways, you can't just not go to work for no reason. Please come to the office.
I told you already that I'm going to take a day off today.
Is it something so urgent that you couldn't attend the welcome ceremony?
I'm going shopping at the mall with my boyfriend.
What?
Oh, don't bother telling my father or something. Never mind, I'm going to tell him myself that you scolded me. You're going to regret rebelling against me, the daughter of the CEO, when you're just some low-ranking employee.
Whitney!
Good morning, President Morgan.
Is it true that you scolded my daughter? You know I'm the CEO, right? Come to my office right away!
Alright, understood.
Hey, Whitney! It seems you left work early. Didn't you scold my daughter for not coming to work? And here you are, ignoring your work and going home yourself.
I already submitted the form saying I was going to leave work early. I'm leaving work early to go to the doctor.
What, the doctor?
The inside of my mouth started bleeding when you punched me in the face. It also started swelling in the cheek, so I decided to go to the doctor.
Stop making such a big deal out of this! You're the one in the wrong for scolding my daughter in the first place! I only gave the proper punishment to one of my employees as the head of this company!
But wasn't I called to the office and punched in the face for scolding your daughter? After all I did was caution her for going absent without any reason?
Just who do you think you are? Rosa is the CEO of this company's only daughter!
Being absent without any prior notice is against the company rules. Your daughter is also an employee of this company starting today, so I only thought that it was my duty to warn her as the one responsible for her training. Also, giving Rosa special treatment is unfair, no matter how you look at it, and risks hurting the image of your company.
Who do you think you are talking so high and mighty like that? You're just a member of the training division, and not only is Rosa my daughter, but she's going to be the next CEO of this company.
The next CEO? Surely that hasn't been decided yet.
It's been decided by me, the current CEO of this company, which means that you're in no position to rebel against Rosa.
I'm not rebelling against Rosa. I'm just saying that she needs to do work just like the rest of us.
Anyways, you verbally abused Rosa, the daughter of the current CEO and also the next CEO of this company after me. You make a big deal even though all she did was not come to work without prior notice. For that, you're fired.
I see. I'm going to talk to my father about this incident.
Your father? Huh? And what use is that going to be of? What's the father of a low-ranking employee like you going to do?
Hi, Miss Paige. I heard you were fired by my dad. I told you you would regret it. This is what happens when a low-ranking employee like you rebels against the CEO's daughter. This is valuable life experience for you, isn't it? Don't even try thinking of rebelling against me starting from tomorrow, alright?
Rosa, just what is the meaning of this? You were the daughter of one of the heads of our parent company?
Yes, that's true. Did you receive word from my father?
He came to see me himself. I wondered what the hell was going on when he told me that you were his daughter. I couldn't tell because your last names are different.
My parents divorced when I was in high school, and ever since I've been using my mother's last name. Even though my parents divorced, I meet my father regularly, so our relationship as father and daughter is fine.
Why did you hide something as important as this?
I wasn't really hiding it. I just didn't think I needed to tell everyone about it. I took the entrance examination for this company fair and square and was hired by my own merits.
Wait, I'm getting distracted. There's something much more important. At this rate, I'm going to lose my position as a CEO. That's why I contacted you in the first place.
Is that so?
Rosa, can you pretend like nothing ever happened?
Pretend like nothing ever happened?
That's right, I'll forget that you verbally abused my daughter, and I'll apologize for punching you in the face. Actually, no, I won't just apologize. I'll let you be my secretary, And I'll even double your salary. What do you say? That's a good deal, right?
And I was wondering what you were going to say.
What is it? You're not satisfied with just doubling your salary? Fine, I'll triple it. If that's not enough, I know, I'll let you marry me. I've already divorced my former wife, so I can marry you whenever you want. And marrying the daughter of one of the heads of our parent company will also ensure that I'm going to climb the corporate ladder in the future. So it's a win-win. This is a wonderful proposition that benefits both of us, don't you think?
I think you're forgetting something important. Do you really think that you can retain your current position after just having punched someone in the face for no good reason?
Huh? But don't you understand? I just made a proposition that will fix all of that.
You mean make me your secretary and also your wife?
Yes, exactly. I think this is a lucrative deal for you as well, am I wrong?
Actually, I'm quite disgusted by the idea.
What?
We've already decided what to do with you. I'm going to file a police report on you for punching me in the face. That's what I've decided.
Hold on!
I already have the certificate of diagnosis from the doctor.
But you don't have any proof that I'm the one who did it.
There are eyewitnesses.
Huh?
You completely didn't notice that when I entered your office, I left the door half open.
Huh? And what if you did?
When you called me to your office, I had one of my colleagues follow me and wait outside and secretly observe our conversation.
What?
That's what happened. I hope you understand now that I have everything I need to file a police report on you. Goodbye then.
Miss Paige! You were the daughter of the head of our parent company? That's so unfair. You never said anything about it. The only reason my dad punched you was because you scolded me. It's your fault for verbally abusing me. It's so unfair. You're the one who's wrong, but you just used your father's position to turn the tables on us. But since I'm so kind, I'll forgive you. If you forgive my father in turn, then I'll let you be my secretary when I become the CEO of this company. What do you say? This is a wonderful deal, right?
I think you should go to bed first, because what you're saying sounds like something one would say in their sleep.
Huh?
Miss Morgan, it seems like you've made quite a few misunderstandings. While it's true that I relied on my father to take care of this incident, it doesn't change the fact that your father punched me in the face after all I did was caution you for taking leave without notice. I even had to go to the doctor because of it. Don't you think that it's natural to ask your parents for help in such a situation?
Well, I guess that's true.
It just so happens that the victim's father was one of the heads of this company's parent company, and that your father, the assailant, was the company's CEO. Because of this coincidence, the leaders of the parent company are now asking themselves whether they can let someone who just punches other people in the face for no good reason in charge of a company. Not only is your father's capability of running a company being put into question, but so is his integrity as a human being.
Does that mean that my dad might not be the CEO anymore?
Yes, it does mean that.
But that also means that I won't be the CEO of this company either.
The next CEO of this company wasn't decided to be you in the first place.
What?
Your father. During the first year he was in office as CEO, things ran smoothly in the company, even if there weren't exactly any major achievements. But the moment the daughter he loved so much joined the company, he became, well, like that. You could even say he became a different person. I still don't understand what makes people undergo such massive changes.
I don't care about all of that. I want you to cooperate in making sure my dad doesn't lose his position as the CEO of this company. If you're the daughter of the head of the parent company, then something like that should be easy for you. Right?
After all this, you still don't understand the situation your father is in.
What do you mean by that?
I'll tell you this one more time. I think you should go to bed because what you're saying sounds like something one would say in their sleep.
Huh?
Well then, goodbye. After that, I turned in the police report on Mr. Morgan. I didn't bother with an out-of-court settlement since he didn't seem to show any remorse for his actions. I made him pay an alimony after making sure this offense was filed on his record. I heard rumors that he was forced to go into debt because of this. After the incident, of course, his daughter Rosa lost her position in the company as the daughter of the CEO and was now just a new employee. Worse than that, everyone knew about how she didn't come to work on her first day for no good reason, and how her father was the former CEO with a criminal record. She was basically forced to quit because of all of this. She started working multiple part-time jobs from day to night to support both herself and her father, who could no longer find any job of his own. But one day the two of them just disappeared, and apparently no one knows where they are now.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Nadia, you! I'm going to be taking your husband now.
What? What do you mean you're going to be taking my husband now?
Like I said, I just got together with your husband, Jason, and we're in some serious love right now, which means he'll be coming with me now as we get out of here.
You guys are running away together? Hold on, Vivi. I already get that you have such a problem with men of all types, and it's no joke at all. But now you're going after your own sister's husband?
Well, someone like Jason, who's been with a not-so-good-looking woman like yourself, said that he'd rather be with someone who is still young and juicy like myself from now on. Also, he's making a ton of money currently, right? Since he's freelance, that means he can choose to live anywhere we want, and with all of that money he's bringing in, I can stay at home and be his housewife forever. This makes running away with him so easy for me that it's insane.
You aren't looking at the whole entire picture here.
Oh, the divorce paperwork is in your mailbox for you. And he made sure to end his lease at that apartment he was renting.
What? He ended the lease?
He told me that he's going to buy all sorts of new things, so things like his furniture and clothing can all be thrown out if you'd like to do that.
This is all way too one-sided and crazy.
Bye-bye!
Hey, Vivi!
Nadia! Good seeing you after 3 years. Have you been doing all right for yourself?
What? Vivi?
Yahoo!
I can't believe you'd get back in touch with me of all people.
What? Tell me, what's so bad about me wanting to talk with my older sister again?
After having gone and stolen that older sister's husband from her, I don't understand how you have the nerve to talk with her again after 3 years. Are you mentally all there?
Is that something you should be saying to your little sister who just got back in touch with you after such a long time? Vivi's so sad she might cry.
You're so frickin' annoying.
You're so mean.
So what do you want with me? The past 3 years, I haven't heard a word out of you, and yet you're wanting to talk with me again? There has to be something you want from me, right?
Well, if you think there's something I want, then there is.
What is it?
Currently, you're 36 years old, right?
That's right, but is that all you care to ask about?
Being cared for by your own mama at the age of 36?
Excuse me? What are you wanting to talk about here?
I'm wanting to know how much longer an old hag like you is willing to leech off mom and dad for.
Leech off?
The fact that you're getting so close to your 40s and are still having to rely on mom and dad for everything is insane.
Sure, I'm at that point now where I've gotten up there in age and I'm still living in the same house as mom and dad are. But nothing ever came up about me being the one getting cared for by the both of them. And here's something else that's new to you. This is my house we're living in, and it's really only mom that lives here.
What is that? Trying to act all tough now or something? For someone that was still a housewife only 3 years ago, was it really that easy for you to find a proper job right after we ran off? No, it wasn't. So stop trying to act like someone you're not. That is why you living in that house with your parents means that it is them who are still having to take care of you. And just to let you know, I am fully aware that Dad passed away while I've been gone, so we can just leave him out of this. But the fact that you're having to leech off a widow now who only has a part-time job, I feel so sorry for her. Vivi, you have a lot of misunderstandings going on right now. I was never a housewife before you ran off with my husband. What? Around the same time I got married to Jason, my company was rolling out some new things like having a lot of us work from home remotely. So for the most part, I was working from home while I had Jason as my husband. I can understand why you'd see that as me leaving my job, but in reality, I had just been working from my room. And even now I'm at home working remotely for the company. All right. You really think you're making yourself look all professional and employed by saying you're working from home and remotely right now? Well, that's not going to work on me. Hey, what are you trying to say here? Where I'm living right now and who I'm living with at the moment has nothing to do with you, right? No. It has a ton to do with me. Then you tell me why that is. Oh, you still don't know why? I honestly can't even tell what you're wanting to say to me right now. What I'm saying is, Richard and I will be moving back home and in with Mom, so you need to get lost now. That's all. Huh? Who is Richard? He's my current boyfriend. Huh? Then what happened with Jason after you went and stole him from me? Oh, about a month after doing that, he and I broke up. Huh? That quickly? Well, to tell you the truth, Jason said to me that the company he was freelancing for just so happened to be the same company that you worked for, right? He said that the moment the company found out that he had run off with me, he lost all work from said company. Well, I'm sure he did after pulling that. The man in charge of dealing with him and the projects was someone else, but everyone knew that he was my ex-husband and that he became my ex due to some very unfortunate reasons. To think that the man he had left his wife for was her little sister. Everyone in the company, including the CEO himself, lost interest in a man like Jason and said to stop giving him work right away. Hey, we don't have to talk about him anymore. Right now, we're talking about how Richard and I are moving back home to stay with Mom. So when are you going to be able to get out of that house? Before that, let me ask you something. Vivi, where are you right now? I'm living here in City A with Richard in his apartment. But soon the whole building is going to be taken down in order for the new condos to be built. And so with that, we were thinking of moving back home and staying with my mom for a while. We'll also be getting married while we're there. That's the plan that the both of us came up with. And after getting in touch with a friend of mine still living in that neighborhood, they told me that you are still living back home with Mom. Nadia, you're in my way right now, so please get out. And when did you talk with that friend of yours? 2 months ago or so. 2 months ago. I see, so you still have no clue then. About what? Right now I'm over in Europe with my husband living together. Did you not hear about that from anyone? Huh? You're in Europe? I ended up getting married to a Dutch man. Huh? While here in the US, he told me that he was going to have to head back to the Netherlands, and so we got married and I went with him. And Mom made sure to come along as well. What the heck? That kind of a lie is way too easy for me to figure out. Why do you think I'm lying to you right now? Because you were never able to speak Dutch in the past. I don't even think you had any interest in Europe before, so you really expect me to believe that you're living over there now? No way, no way. Did you know that before my divorce from Jason, I was taking classes for both Dutch and German? What? After you had taken Jason away from me and left me with a shattered heart and all, I started to take an even deeper liking in Europe and in the Dutch as a whole. Mom then started to come along with me, and we went from being terrible at foreign languages to learning 2 in under 2 years. And that's why we're now able to thrive over here with no issues at all. And if you're wondering who my husband was, well, he was my Dutch and German teacher. Huh? So this is the kind of fantasy world that you 40-year-old hags come up with when you've been forever alone. Scary. I'll be coming back home next Saturday, so I need you out of that house by then. Nadia! Why? What happened here? What is it this time? There is no house here anymore. Huh? The house I was born and raised in? The house that I was supposed to start living in with Mom and my fiancé? There's no house here anymore. The house was torn down a while back. Hey, what's all of this about? That was my house. Since both Mom and I were moving to Europe, there was no reason to leave the house there empty with no buyers. so we sold it off for the land. What? Thankfully, the man that bought the land was an old friend of Dad's before he passed away. When we spoke with him about what he was going to do with the land, he said he'd be turning it into an apartment complex. And so what you're seeing is the empty land after he tore down the house, before it's going to have an apartment placed on it, right? No way. I never heard about that. Even if we wanted to talk with you about it, you had both Mom and I blocked until very recently, right? We had no idea where you were living, and there was no other way for us to get in contact with you. No way. We already ended the lease on the other apartment and can't go back there anymore. Richard doesn't have a family or anything, so there's no place for him or us to go back to either. By the way, have you noticed a car waiting around there? Huh? A car? I heard that it's supposed to be an all blacked out van, but... Huh? What are you talking about? Look, Vivi, I've been waiting for a very long time now to get a settlement from you for what you'd done 3 years ago. Huh? A settlement? A settlement for having had an affair with my husband and stealing him from me. Technically, it may be too late for me to do something like that, but I can at least still try. And since I now know where you are, I can snatch you up and take you to talk with my lawyer. And the people there to help take you are a group from a construction firm in the city. Huh? A construction firm? It's the kind of company who are more than happy to hire lost causes like you and turn your character around so you can become a decent member of society again. What? They're there to pick you up and take you off to go start working for them, building a dam out in the middle of nowhere. And my lawyer said he'll come to talk with you about having all of your income from there sent right to me as a form of out-of-court settlement. Huh? No! At least let me work at a cafe or an apparel outlet or a fancy furniture store. Let me work somewhere high-end. Well, you can, but can you find a place that will hire you by tonight and a place for you to live nearby to it? What? Even if you find somewhere else to work, you're still going to have to pay me back for what you've done. And even though I'm not there in the US anymore, there are plenty of people who will support me, like that construction firm and my lawyer. And that lawyer just so happens to be top of the class, so you can try to run and hide, but you'll only be making things worse for yourself. What is this? Now this is going to be the last time you and I ever text one another, all right? What? Nadia? From now on, only talk with my lawyer, please. The blacked out van just pulled up to me. No, Nadia, I don't want to go. Bye-bye. I didn't tell my younger sister, but it turns out that her ex-husband Jason is also working for a construction firm at a different location. Apparently, when they got divorced, my parents had to cover the alimony costs, and Jason is currently repaying them for his wages at that job. Just the other day, I reached out to him to discuss the situation with my sister, and that's when he told me about his employment. Naturally, my immediate thought was, well, if Jason's working there, then why not get my foolish sister involved too? As for my sister's now ex-boyfriend, Richard, he seems to have only come along with her because she told him to. Once they arrived at that chaotic situation, their relationship ended right there on the spot. I can't say I'm surprised, given how things had been going between them. Richard was clearly never the type to handle pressure well, and my sister, well, she certainly isn't known for choosing her partners wisely. I guess it was just a matter of time before things fell apart. So, there you have it. My sister ended up securing food, clothing, and shelter in the most unexpected way. It's almost comical when you think about it. However, despite her newfound situation, she still managed to leave me a voicemail saying, "I'm so tired. I'm scared, Nadia," with a hint of desperation in her voice. Just as the message was wrapping up, I could hear a tough-sounding woman yelling in the background, "Quit slacking off, will ya?" And then the message abruptly ended. I had to chuckle a little bit when I heard that because, knowing my sister, she's probably getting exactly what she deserves. After years of being lazy and making poor life choices, she's finally in a situation where she has no choice but to work hard under someone's strict supervision. To be honest, it's probably the best thing that could have happened to her. Still, it's not easy to completely shake the feeling of concern when you hear your own sister sounding so exhausted and frightened. I know she's been through a lot, but at the same time, her tendency to make bad decisions has led her down this path. It's hard to feel too sympathetic when you remember all the chaos she's caused over the years. I suppose the fact that she ended up working in such a strict environment is some form of poetic justice. After all, she's spent most of her life avoiding responsibility, bouncing from one ill-fated relationship to another, and somehow managing to escape the consequences of her actions.
But now she's finally in a place where she can't run from her problems. She has to face them head on with no easy way out. Maybe, just maybe, this will be the turning point she needs to grow up and take some responsibility for her life. But at the same time, knowing my sister, I wouldn't be surprised if she finds a way to mess this up too. It's always been her pattern. Just when things seem to be turning around, she manages to self-sabotage. I can only hope that this time things will be different. Maybe the tough environment will teach her some valuable life lessons. If nothing else, it's a far cry from the easy, carefree lifestyle she's used to. Jason's situation, on the other hand, is a bit more straightforward. He's working hard to repay the money my parents covered for him during the divorce, and from what I hear, he's managing to stay on track with his payments. I suppose that's something, at least. It's not like he has much of a choice, though. He's stuck in that job until the debt is paid off, and there's no telling how long that will take. I can't say I have much sympathy for him either, considering everything that happened during their marriage. In the end, both Jason and my sister ended up in places they never expected. Life has a funny way of turning out like that. The two of them thought they could coast by on poor decisions and avoid the consequences, but reality eventually caught up with them. Now they're both stuck in their respective situations, learning the hard way that there are no shortcuts in life. As for me, I can't say I'm upset about how things turned out. In fact, I think it's probably for the best. My sister needs to learn that life isn't always easy, and Jason is finally paying the price for his mistakes. Maybe, after all this, they'll both come out of it as better people. Or maybe they won't. Only time will tell. For now, all I can do is wait and see how this chapter of their lives unfolds. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.